My favorite topic, IRS. Is that the IRS situation? I'll say that. With the revelations that they were supposedly treating conservative groups different than liberal groups. Do you agree that that is a scandal or not?
I believe that until a proper investigation is done, we'll never really know. You can't take somebody that's a donor to a president and his administration and put them in charge of something and come out with a bipartisan agreement on it. So it has to be investigated to its fullest. I don't believe that's been done. I think that everything that I've heard on it, not being on the inside and knowing, everything I've heard and read and understand, is it's never been fully done. The way the FBI announced it, they would never do it the way that direction in a typical investigation.
Well, they said that they would never issue any criminal indictments in there.
So, do I think that there were targets out there? Absolutely. I in my heart of hearts, I just believe that that there's a lot of corruption within politics.
Okay. Entitlement reform. There's a huge gap between the conservatives and the liberals about the need for entitlement reform with Social Security and Medicare. Others say that the programs are just fine. What is your take on those entitlement programs, specifically Social Security and Medicare? I mean, a lot of your population that you would represent are getting both of those.
I look a little different at Social Security and Medicare. It's not an entitlement program. People have paid into that. They've earned that. We should have never messed with it. Johnson should have never touched those dollars. Where would we be today if we'd just left it in its own account to deal with those issues down the road? Yes, people get much more than they ever put into it, but that's what you do with an insurance plan. That's the reason it happened. It was to look after those that have invested into it. Those that have accrued great wealth over the years, yes, they might have put into it, but I think we're supposed to look at individuals and say, hey, this is the better good. Maybe I don't need it because I put it in there. But the other programs out there, I believe is destroying this nation.
And like
well, we have a lot of people that are on welfare that don't need to be on welfare. We have a lot of fraud going on. We know that. The divide between states and the federal government, the states have to be very careful what they ask individuals because we could lose all our funding.
Right.
So it's a dangerous game you get there. So the states, I believe, are better off to handle those programs. It's much like education. I want to go there a little bit.
Yeah.
Education is one of those issues that the federal government, if they're going to get involved, we shouldn't have a core standards for anybody. We should let it go into a grant system that we send the dollars to maybe their districts, and then it goes out into those communities. In a grant system. Let every community is different. Even in the Las Vegas urban area, every school area is a different area than the next one. Let them come up with programs that's for their own area and say this is what's going to work for us. And then it's how government was established and what it was set up on. We got to get away from these isms that we talk about: capitalism, socialism, all the other isms that are out there. We've got to start going back to what was done by our founding fathers and people back in the 1800s, the government in the 1800s. They come up, what are we going to do? Then how are we going to do it? And then we give it a goal. When's it going to be done? That's what we need to do in government, and then stay away from it. If it doesn't work, we need to drop it. We need to, if it's working and we need to tweak it, then you tweak it, but it still needs to go, what are we going to do? How are we going to do it? And when's it going to be accomplished? This situation with the poor that Johnson tried to put, bring them out of that. It's got worse. We have more poor today than we ever had then, and it's continually grown every year since that time we said we're going to try to correct it. And it's a sad situation that we didn't set a goal and then find out what we're doing wrong and stop it or go another direction.
You're talking specifically about his war on poverty,
War
not
on poverty.
not the
Couldn't
civil
come up-
rights movement.
It's early, I couldn't come up with a word.
Yeah.
The war on poverty.
War on poverty. Okay. Well, let's back up a minute when you were talking about education. So you would be a proponent of doing away with the Common Core standards? Is that what I understand you saying?
I believe that there's nothing common with any community. Yeah, I think it's wrong. It's not something that works. It's like No Child Left Behind. It doesn't work across the nation. It's an unfair practice. You know, the affluent, they get more education no matter how they do it. They've already got a head start. So you have to have those urban school districts and areas that are of underprivileged to have the opportunity to have a grant to say, hey, this is what we got to do to get out of this hole, because sometimes you start behind, you never can get out.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And you said before that you don't quite agree with the idea that education in the state of Nevada is underfunded.
I don't believe it is at this time. I think that there could be more funding going to it, but the state of Nevada needs to start showing some goals where we headed. We've continually been at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Now we can't blame that on the dollars, because we've got the dollars there to do it. So I just feel like right now, before you fund more, you just don't throw more dollars at the same program that hasn't been working.
Are you in favor of the business tax initiative that the teachers' unions are trying to get passed in the state of Nevada?
Absolutely not. I think it's going to be devastating to business in the state. People come here. To me, Nevada is beautiful, but other people come here for the business opportunities. I think we're going to have people leaving because of that. If that passes, that gross receipts tax is a horrible tax. Texas already is trying to repeal and fix theirs for the last 6-8 years since they put it in place. They've already shown that it's not a good tax, and that was put in place by Republicans.
But there are some states that have much higher business taxes than we do in Nevada, and their economies seem to be doing fairly well.
They have a population base, they have an educated base, they have a number of other things that were there long before the needs. It's been a progress over time for them, but they are also leaving too. You're seeing people wanting out of California. They just can't figure out how to get where they're going because of high energy rates in the state. It's still difficult to do that, and we're competitive, but we're still a few cents a kilowatt higher than others.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay.